Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. My name is Drew, and welcome back to another Minecraft episode here on Time Off. I'm at this village here, setting up another portal to kind of get ready to transport some villagers in the near-ish future to the custom village. But that still might not be for a little while, because I have to set up a rail through the nether and probably move the portal up to the ceiling of the nether too. I'm not too sure. Hello. And yeah, I went through that portal. Did I mention this is the second village? This is the second village I've been to. The last village was actually our spruce village that we found, where we were breeding some villagers a few episodes back. And these are the types of villagers I want in the custom village. I want like the normal, original style, the generic style of villagers. And I want those like spruce styled villagers too. And so we're going to be working with these two villages. We're going to be just bringing random villagers back in the future, and we'll be giving them professions, and hopefully we'll get some decent trades out of that. And then I think we'll even have just regular generic villagers that won't have a profession or anything like that. We'll just keep them as they are, just to kind of make the village feel a little bit more populated. I had to spend some time just kind of organizing some things, and honestly, there was a few games that I just straight up wanted to play that was not Minecraft, and I wasn't really planning on playing them on the channel. So I don't know. And then so it's like, okay, I'm going to take 1 week off. You take 1 week off, and then it's like, all right, well, I don't really feel like doing it this week. And then you wait the next week, and then it's been months. And then you are like, okay, I got to start recording again. But you're so like, I talked to Jordan about this a little while ago, and we were talking about how if you spend enough time away from YouTube, you get fairly unfamiliar with it in a way. So that's kind of what happened to me. And so I think I just got to kind of try to bring it back and be a bit more consistent again and try to get back into the flow, because I really enjoyed keeping busy with the channel and stuff like that. Anyway, so I'm probably going to start a new project today, and I actually might get a head start on a second project too in a new area. These are both kind of in new areas, and I don't think I'm going to be finishing anything. I don't think I'm going to go back and work on old projects anytime soon. Even the village, I don't even think I'm going to like finish the village anytime soon. I did a little bit more work. I did a little bit more work just around the world in general. And I'll keep you guys up to date with what that looks like as we kind of get to those areas. But for now, I think I'm going to do some resource gathering. And then the area that I want to work on, I'm trying to, like, get to it. But this mountain range is, like, very, ugh. I can't wait for the new mountains, by the way. So at the time of recording this, the new snapshot is not out. It's only available for Bedrock right now. It's like a Bedrock beta. And I'm like so obsessed with the new mountain. Oh, can I make this? Do I dare? Yeah, I dare. Whoa! Oh, no, now I'm stuck. So I think all in all, I'm more excited for the mountains than I am for the new caves. Just because the caves have like new generation, they look gorgeous and cool, and you know, God knows I'm going to be exploring that stuff. I just don't really think I have many plans for that kind of stuff. I mean, the only thing I really want to do in a cave is kind of what we already did with the mine over there. So I don't know, but the mountains, ooh, I'm really excited to see what people do with the caves and also the mountains too. But I think when the update comes out, at least like the second part of the update, because now the update's been split into two. For the second part of the update, when the actual generations come out, I think I'll be spending most of my time with the mountains. So I'll see like what we can do. We'll definitely have to go quite a ways out. I've been trying to purposely not explore a whole lot in our world, just so when that new update does come out, we can have mountains, like, hopefully, cross our fingers, fairly close to our current area that we're in right now. At least the caves will definitely have tons of brand new caves if we don't go too far. So, like, I think the furthest I've really explored in this world would probably be this direction. Our spawn is actually in that direction, our world spawn. And then, obviously, the village that we just came from, but that's not really that far. Past the farm over there, I don't think I've ever been really past the dark oak forest that's over there. So, yeah, we'll have tons of exploring to do when the new updates come out. And hopefully... Oh, but you know what? I've actually explored quite a bit in the Nether. Here's a question for you guys. If you are wandering through new generation in the Nether, does that generate the chunks in the overworld? So, like, the chunks that I haven't been to yet in the overworld, are those chunks now, like, have they been loaded, or, like, the layout of those chunks, have they now been determined by us being technically in that area just via the Nether? Does that make sense? I don't know how that works. I really don't. Okay. So I should probably explain what I'm doing right now. So obviously I'm taking down the rest of this building that I had here for quite some time. And the project that I want to work on today is I actually want to start building the new structure that's going to be here. I kind of have like a rough idea. I found a really nice picture online, just on Google Images, of like a fantasy type mansion. And I want to use that for reference to kind of have our own version of that build here. So I'm going to do that. The idea of this building was originally going to be for villagers to be in this area, so all the villagers can kind of just live in one building. But it's going to be kind of a bigger building, like definitely bigger than what we had here originally. So I think it's going to be more or less of like a multi-purpose building. I also want this area to host the tree farm storage, and I actually have a pretty cool idea for that. And that building is basically going to go on the side of this hill here. And the actual tree farm is going to be just on the other side of those mountains. There's a nice flat spot. We might be able to see part of it. Not really. But just on the other side of this hill, there's a nice flat spot out there. And I really, really want to create a tree farm out there so we don't have to keep growing random trees in random spots or in the same spot every time. Outside of the tree farm, that is. This area right here. Do I have to go all the way up? Do you guys get the point? Sheep. Do you guys get the point from right here? So there's this flat area here, and I'll definitely be terraforming it a bit more just to maybe make it a bit more flat. I got to plant more grass there. And I got to kind of figure out exactly how the tree farm's going to work. I think we're going to manually cut everything down by hand. But are we going to have like scaffolding permanently set up so we can climb up to the top of the trees? I don't know. Throw me out some of your tree farm ideas. Stuff that you like to do with your tree farms that you feel really helps and stuff like that. I got some resources that I think I'm going to like to work with on this build. And I'm just clearing out some space now so we can start looking at these posts that I placed here. They're 15 blocks apart, and I think that might be a good distance to work with. So for the corners of the build, we will definitely be using the spruce. And I think I'm going to like to use a bit more concrete and terracotta for the build. So I got some resources up here in a chest. I'll show you what I'm thinking. So these are the colors here that I think I would like to use for the build. I think this brown terracotta I would like to use for the roof. That's the yeah. The brown concrete's a bit lighter. But the brown terracotta I think I'd like to use for the roof. And I'd like to use the white concrete for some of the walls. And then I would like to use the spruce to kind of use for some roof trimming. And obviously the logs for the corners of the build. So I think this should be a pretty good color palette. We could probably try to mix in some other resources as well. I think maybe that orange terracotta that I dug up by accident, maybe that would actually be pretty decent for us to use in this build as well. It's been a while since I built anything in Minecraft, so let's see how smooth this goes. So I'm really trying to kind of start the structure of this building. And I have not built anything quite like this before, especially the roof. I think the roof is probably going to be the trickiest part of this build because it might not look like it's going to be a different style, but what it is, like, there's going to be a lot of waves with this roof. And the whole kind... Oh, get rid of that dirt block. Yeah. So what it is basically this roof is going to be outlined with spruce planks. And then we're going to be using the brown terracotta to actually fill it in. So the spruce is basically going to be like a block lower than the actual roof itself, the terracotta. I got to sleep soon. And so, yeah, I'm trying to get the shape of it down now. And it's kind of coming along, but I'm worried, too, that this is going to be a bad location. For some reason, like, I just can't let go of the idea of there being, like, a big building here on the side of this hill. But this also might be a pretty bad location for this build. We're gonna see. So, yeah. I'm just going to keep doing some more work, and I'll keep you guys up to date. So I've done a little bit more work on the house. I'm quickly running out of resources because I am underestimating how big this build is going to be. I didn't expect it to get this big. This tall, that is. I mean, it's not too late to kind of make some changes and stuff like that to kind of change the proportions. Maybe make it a little bit more wider, maybe make it shorter. But this is kind of the most basic that this building is going to look, because all in all, there's going to be quite a bit of different, how do I word this? There's going to be more volume in the build, and it might look a little bit more textured, I guess. But it's supposed to be a tall house. It's supposed to be tall, but I didn't really think it was going to be this tall. But what do you guys think? I'll leave it as it is right now. Maybe I'll do a little bit more work on it. But, I mean, I guess I'll wait for feedback until I get, like, further in it. Because I don't want to keep working on something that a lot of people will agree that it's just maybe not right for the area. But the roof, you can kind of see, like, the roof is going to keep going back. So it's going to be like, it's going to be a longer roof. It's going to be longer than it is wide down here, right? And then we'll have like different kind of peaks in the roofs. Like we'll kind of have like some smaller roofs coming out. I think it's, I think this bottom line of the roof too is going to be more curved. It's going to kind of curve down. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do on this house for this episode. So, yeah. We're getting pretty close. There's a kind of like a valley in this woods that I really want to use. I realized that I haven't really done any projects in like a forest like this, so I think this is going to be a good area to kind of get away and a new biome to kind of work in the series, especially. Yeah, so our concrete farm is over here, and I have tons of colored concrete bits and terracotta and wool, and that's actually kind of what I wanted to come over here for. I'll keep going this way. I think it's right up here, actually. I don't know why I jumped off that tree. Yes, so this spot here. So I really like this spot, and I've wanted to do something here for quite some time. I haven't really explored like that much in my world. Like this really isn't that far from our other base and stuff like that. You can see the top of the tower right there, actually, the potions tower. So I think I think I want to work here, and I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but let me explain what I want this area to be. Basically, I want to start a new spot with several buildings, and each building carrying a different color of these objects, these blocks that we have in our inventory. So there's going to be a building for each color in the game regarding the wool, the terracotta, and the concrete. And we're going to store all three of those resources of that color in each building. And I think it'll probably be like, I want to make this forest look pretty colorful in the end. Like, I really want to have some colorful buildings, because I'm also coming to the realization that every build that we have over in the other area is quite the same. Like, it's all kind of made out of wood. It's made out of, you know, any like bit of other blocks we have. Like, if it's like stone or concrete, it's typically like a gray color, terracotta, all that kind of stuff. So I really want to do something different. I want to have like a whole different color palette in this forest here. I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to go for the builds. I don't know exactly if the builds are going to be made out of mostly these blocks, or if it's going to kind of be like the floors in the potions tower, where the floors and the walls are kind of made out of a different material, but we have each floor color coded with the blocks that we have in this inventory, like the concrete and terracotta. We use those blocks to color code the buildings and stuff like that. So I'll try to figure something out. I'm going to go online. I'm going to do some research and look for some reference photos for things that we can do. If you guys have suggestions about what we can do in this area, what you want the builds to look like, what resources I should primarily base the buildings out of, like, please let me know. Comment and let me know, guys, because I really want to know what you're gonna what you're gonna be thinking about this project, because I really have next to no thoughts. I kind of have some ideas, like regarding some bridges and paths out this way. Other than that, I can't really think of what I want the buildings to look like. So I was actually playing around with an idea. I went online. I tried to find some references to like some concrete builds and terracotta builds, but I couldn't really quite find anything exactly what I was looking for. So I had an idea, and let me know what you guys think with this idea, because I want to see how well it works. I was thinking about maybe taking designs from villages, like builds that already exist in a naturally spawned Minecraft world, rebuild them, like build them ourselves in that forest that's over there. Can you get away from me, please? I'm trying to talk. And mix in the concrete or terracotta or wool into the builds. So we could probably like highlight them more if we were building a building like this, something that already exists in a village, and then we just kind of color code it and highlight it like that. Okay, maybe not this one. And I was also looking at all the colors that's available in Minecraft, and it looks like we're going to have to build 16 buildings for this idea. So I think something that I might try to do is I might try to kind of get a head start on that now. Just maybe build 1 or 2 buildings and see how it looks in that forest. I'm looking at this now. It looks like there's already terracotta in this build. Is that white terracotta? I believe it's white. Yes, it is white terracotta. I don't know why the terracotta is a little discolored. Like, that's pink, right? Something I was also thinking about, too, is, like, this building in particular is pretty small. So it's like, how much storage do we actually, like, want here? Like, I think I want quite a bit of storage for our colored resources, right? Our blocks. So I think if we really want to, like, if we choose some small buildings to build that are village inspired, maybe we can just go ahead and like maybe build a basement to these buildings or something like that. Because when you fill this in, like, this is what you're looking like for space. So we would have, it'd be pretty cramped. We would have some chests in here. I could definitely go up. I need to make some more planks. Like this. Whoops. All right, how high is this building to? Oops. Let's just do this. The door. Yeah. Yeah, it's that high, so we need some stairs now. I was putting some thought into the other big project that we're building, the building that we were just at. And I was thinking that maybe something that we could do to store it is we could probably have that building for storage for like plants and saplings and flowers and bushes and all that kind of stuff. Because we don't really have... That's something that, surprisingly, I have quite a bit of at my house, and the storage is starting to get a little out of hand over there. So that's something that you don't really think about much, that you don't really think that you have a lot of, until you realize that your storage at home is starting to get cluttered, and all of a sudden you realize that you don't really have the space for it all. So I think if we just have that gigantic building, we could definitely have storage, like proper storage for that kind of stuff that we don't really want cluttered in our house, because there's a lot of stuff in my house that I really would prefer there to be a separate building for. So that's actually part of the reason why we're over here. We're over here for a few different reasons. The biggest reason for me is to actually just kind of go over to a new area and do something new in a biome that I haven't really done much in, with resources I haven't really worked with that much. So how could we go in and color code this to be, say, blue? I wonder how good this will look. If we go outside. I mean, that could look pretty good. I think blue, like this blue here, and like beige, and even like the sandstone, really, really go good together. Like this color of blue, it's like the perfect shade of blue. Even the wool is really nice too. And sandstone, ugh, it goes so, so well together. And this beige too goes really, really good with these different types of builds. Oh yeah, I'm missing the torches too. Bam. Just like that. It's like this odd building that just spawned out here for no reason. So really quick, I built a sandstone house up there that is based off a house from the village over there. And I put some blue concrete on it. The blue concrete that we were trying with the other house, just to see. And yeah, I think those colors look really nice together. I think that's a great way to indicate that stored in this building is going to be the blue colored blocks. I tried the... not the gray. What is this? Cyan terracotta. I tried putting that there. I think those colors look nice. So if we did this building in particular, then maybe we would work with the cyan. But there are also different types of villages that we could try those houses to. And maybe you guys don't really care for the idea that much. I feel like this would kind of maybe be a bit more of a challenge than I was originally anticipating. But I think when we actually do start building everything kind of around here, like buildings on top, buildings down here in the valley, buildings on the sides, and having bridges kind of connect and stairs going down, I think this is going to be a really nice area. And we can even maybe have a small rail station here connecting these buildings, or a station here to maybe the area just over there, so we don't have to keep walking up and down the hill. And maybe even expanding the rail station to go to the village that's over there as well. But that's all for the future and stuff like that. So yeah, regarding the future of the series, I'm going to try to be more consistent. Again, I'm going to try to get episodes out to you guys. If you're watching in the distant future, maybe what I'm saying now is irrelevant to you, because maybe there's more episodes right now for you to binge. I don't know. But I'm trying to make sure that whatever I'm saying now is going to age well, because it's hard talking about a current situation and then it just doesn't age well 5 years from now. So yeah, that's the plan with the series. I'm going to try to kind of get back into it, stay busy with it, and try to communicate with you guys and try to continue building our world together. And before I started recording this episode, I actually went back and watched the last episode I did. And it's funny because at the end of that episode, I was talking about this area here, and I was like, well, I'm not too sure when we're going to get to that, but I guess we got to it now.